Hey, yo,
Slam on the mic.
Good job, first.
HBCU Spotlight TV. This is Brad Brooks, man. I'm here with Southern cornerback, man. The Louisiana Pimp Dog. That's what they proclaimed him as. Danny Johnson. What's going on with you, bro?
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing well. Jumping into it, man. Danny, you're a baller. You know, one of the best players coming out the SWAC, one of the best players coming out this NFL draft. And right now, you're at the point of your career. This is everybody's dream. You know, you're practicing, you're perfecting your craft, you know, preparing for that next level, man, that next step for your football experience. How's that going for you right now, man? You know, you just came back from Indianapolis at the NFL Combine. How's everything going? How have you been able to take it all in?
Man, the experience itself has just been a great experience, just getting out and meeting new people. And then just for myself, just, you know, I'm not satisfied, but I'm thankful that I, you know, got a chance to experience all the different experiences that they have for me. But just the reason why I'm not satisfied is because I just feel like the work is not done yet. So I just want to continue to get better from here.
Hey, man, you said, speaking of not being satisfied, you're a dude, man, you got a lot of accolades on your resume, man. You are a four-year starter at Southern University. You know, competed at one of the best and most prestigious universities as far as HBCUs and just football history. You know, Southern has quite a bit of Hall of Famers and Aeneas Williams, Mel Blount. And, you know, like I said, your resume speaks for itself. You're a phenomenal cornerback, have 17 career picks, all SWAC. Every year you played, man. How does that feel, you know, like, man, like, my hard work is paying off. I really have the opportunity to really make it to the next level. How is that all going for you, man? Because this is a journey, you know. We all play football starting, you know, from pot one, and it's like, this is what we dream of. So how's that for you?
Oh, it's been going good, man. Just, like, to see the hard work paying off, you know, just, you know, a lot of people don't see the work that goes into it, but just working out every day, just wishing, you know, that everything goes in the right direction. And for me, it has been, you know, thank God. And just continuing to put the work in and day out and just seeing the results from it. You know, it's been a pleasure seeing the results. It's been a pleasure to get all the accolades and just continue to make myself happy. And not only myself, just make my family happy.
And Danny, for the listeners that don't know, you know, Danny Johnson, you're a cornerback from Southern. You know, you play with a chip on your shoulder, man. You got a lot of confidence. You got that swagger, and that's what you got to have as a cornerback. But for the scouts and for the listeners and the audience that don't know you, who is Danny Johnson? What do you represent, man? What should we know about you that others don't?
About me, I'm just a guy that just loves what I do. You know, I just love to go out there and compete day in and day out. And I'm always looking for a challenge for myself. So if it's putting myself up against some of the best guys that's out there, you know, I'm always in for it. Just being able to compete, you know, use my God-given ability to just go out there and compete day in and day out.
Danny, at Indianapolis, you got to go, and you can see it firsthand, man. You got to compete. You mentioned that word, compete. You were there with, you know, top cornerbacks like Denzel Ward from Ohio State, Josh Jackson from Iowa, Jair Alexander. What is that experience, you know, being at one of the biggest stages? Because the NFL Combine is an invite. Everybody doesn't get to go. Being there, man, and just showing people that, hey, man, I'm here. I'm just as good as these dudes. Because a lot of people think at that smaller level, at the FCS level, the competition's not that good, especially at the HBCU level. A lot of people don't want to give the credit HBCU athletes as well from, like, you know, different mid-majors and powerhouses and Power 5 conferences. What sets you apart from other players?
I know just being there, being at the Combine itself was a great experience. You know, a lot of the guys that I met at the Senior Bowl were there again, and just even more guys, even the underclassmen, just being there. And overall, you know, it's a great group of guys. So you just, you know, you have to go there and show that you can compete with them. And for me, being like at a smaller school, I had a big chip on my shoulder, just go in there and show that I can, you know, do the exact same thing that some of the other guys can do, and go in there and try to run well, do well in the field drill. So that's what I try to go there and present. You know, it just, for me, what separates me is just I feel like I work hard. I work hard, you know, every day. And I'm trying to go there and just stand out as one, not just try to, you know, feel like I'm, you know, just be cocky. But sometimes, you know, you just got to feel like you're the best one there. So
yeah.
I got to go there and I got to show that I can be one of the tops, you know, show that I can do the same thing some of the other guys that can do. Because me coming from a smaller school, you know, I don't really get the looks that a lot of those other guys get. So I was just trying to go there and make the most of my opportunity.
Yeah, man, you mentioned the word confidence, not being cocky. A lot of cornerbacks, one of the idols for a lot of cornerbacks is prime time, and that's Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders he made the cornerback position, you know, just real swag. he said, that's a position you got to have confidence because a lot of times you're on the island, you're by yourself, and that's a position it's really tough mentally. You can lose your mental, get off that game real fast if you don't have a strong mental. What do you do as a corner to prepare for your matchups when you're on the island? Speaking on your career at Southern, and is there any cornerbacks that you grew up watching or you admire and study your game after?
Just for me, when I'm out there, I don't think about it. I just go out there and I compete. That's what I do. And just, watching film throughout the week, just getting ready for the games. I watch a lot of that. And then just going out there and just being confident that my work from the week has, prepared me to be better than the person that I'm going up against. So, as a corner, you're going to get beat sometimes. You're going to give up some plays. But just having that short-term memory, being ready to play the next play. So that's how I go out there and I continue to focus, my goal is just to make more plays than that person. If they catch the ball on me, just try to make it a hard one. Sometimes they make good catches. So both of us gonna make plays, but I just try to win the outcome of making the most plays. And then for me, just watching people, I like to watch people. Like I like to watch Dion. I like to watch Cornelius. I like to watch Darrell Reeves. I like to watch guys like that. Patrick Peterson. That goes out there and just compete every game. It's like every game that means something to them. It's like they always playing with a chip on their shoulder. So that's why I try to mimic my game after. Just a lot of those guys play totally different, but if you could put all their skills together, I just feel like it'll just make you better.
Hey, man, one thing that I've noticed, from watching your highlights and different film on you, one thing that really makes you stand out from a lot of other corners, you have excellent, ball skills. You definitely know how to play the ball in the air, those 50-50 balls. A lot of receivers nowadays, the game is meant for receivers. It's a passing league, whether it's NFL, college ball, it's a passing league. A lot of receivers dominate. And you still, one of those cornerbacks, like you said that word, compete, bringing that back up. You go out and compete every single play. You make a lot of plays, and that's why you have 17 career picks, man. You're definitely a phenomenal player with that part of your game. How did that instinct just come in?
Coming in high school, man. I played receiver all 4 years, except my senior. Well, all 3 years. I played quarterback my senior year, but played a little receiver starting off that season because we didn't have a quarterback. But just playing the ball. When I was playing receiver, just trying to go up and attack the ball at the highest point. So when I got to college, when my high school coaches always tell me I'm going to college to be a defensive back, I was like, nah, I'm going to be a receiver. So when I got there, just going to play defensive back because they didn't have that many corners. So I went there, and it was still the same for me, kind of like the ball was in the air, and I just had to win the one-on-one battle. And I always wanted to attack the ball at the highest point so I could be the first one to it. So it kind of just transitioned right over for me.
And last thing, man, about the combine, man, we kind of spoke on it before we started the interview. The combine, like I said, it's a experience and a lifetime. It's a 3-day process. You come in, you do the interviews, you get tested, you do all the weigh-in, and then you do the physical part. What was that mental part during the NFL combine, like the interview process? And last week, man, Darius Geis came out, running back from Louisiana State. He came out and said he got asked some wild questions. Was there any, wild questions that was brought up at the combine, or what was that experience during your interview process?
The interview process was kind of great for me because it was meeting the same guys, a lot of guys I met at the Senior Bowl, just a lot of the same teams. But just like for us, the mental part for me, the mental aspect is just making sure you're locked in, making sure you're focused, making sure you're trying to do everything right because you never know who's watching. And just making sure that, when you're in the interviews, you're as sharp as possible, just answer any questions that you possibly can. Mostly with me, it was mostly laughs, just getting to know me, talking about the game, their defense, our defense, and just going over stuff like that.
Yeah, man, for sure. And that, like you said, that's just an amazing experience. I know you're very ecstatic to, be a part of that. First Southern player in 23 years to, be at the Senior Bowl and as well participate in the NFL Combine. And I know, like you said, you play with a chip on your shoulder. Southern last year, over the course of your 4 years and being under Coach Odom, you guys have sent quite a bit of players to the league. Last year, Leonard Tillery, Mike Jones as well, Arthur Miley, and Rashawn Allen. You guys have quite a bit of talent coming out of Southern. What should people know about Southern that they don't know about, man?
Southern have a lot of great athletes. I just feel like, we kind of get overlooked sometimes. So that's why I feel like I have to play with that chip on my shoulder to represent Southern University, just like the guys like Cornelius did, guys like that. So I'm just trying to make sure, we keep that name of Southern University going, try to get the next person to come out and just be better than me. So I know Coach Odom does a good job of finding guys to come in and make plays, and I feel like he's going to continue to do that. So I feel like Southern University is going to continue to have players to come out and just have great success in their career.
And then, we also talked on, you know, being from an HBCU. It's a smaller institution, and a lot of people don't know about, you know, like the budgets that Power 5 schools like in the SEC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, all those conferences, you know, they have more revenue. You know, Alabama, their budget is $20-something million compared to a school like Southern, North Carolina A&T. Their entire athletic budget is about $12 million. What should people know about HBCU athletes, you know, right now in 2018? Because it's still quite a bit of talent. Last year, Grambling sending Chad Williams. You mentioned your past teammate, Leonard Tillery. You this year being a part of the NFL Combine. My dude from South Carolina State and Tariq. What should people take in about HBCU athletes? Because the talent is still coming. It's still producing as well.
HBCU guys, I feel like, you know, we don't get a lot of stuff that the other schools get, but I feel like HBCU guys have been through it. You know, they understand when, you know, everything is not going their way. I feel like we just had to grind a little harder than a lot of other schools because, you know, not just using that what we didn't have, but we didn't have a lot of stuff that other schools had. So we just had to continue to grind and get it the best way we could. So I feel like a lot of HBCU guys have built really tough. And I just feel like those guys have seen, you know, programs that didn't have anything. So just going into a program that has everything, you know, just to help your body and help you get better at the game, I feel like they'll take that advantage of that and be thankful for it and just get better, you know, just by using those resources. Because a lot of things we really didn't have at the HBCUs.
You know, draft day is 1 month away. Draft day is set in April. You know, how are you holding on, man? You know, how are you continue to prepare? You know, where are you training at right now? You know, what's that process like right now? You know, now you're playing the waiting game.
Yeah, right now, just for me, just making sure I stay in shape, making sure I stay on top of my game. You know, whenever I have a chance to rest, just make sure I rest because, you know, once it started, you know, it's starting. Just for me, I'm back. I'm training here back at Southern University since I finished up with the Combine. Just make sure I stay on top of my drills, you know, for come pro day. And but the experience, just me holding up, it's been real great. You know, thankful to be able to be a part of the XPE family where, you know, they got me produce good results for me and just coming back home and just kind of get better from here on out.
You know, football is also a thing. It's not always about football. It's a lot of wins outside off the field as well. How is football and being a football player, you know, allows you to create a platform, have a brand as well for yourself?
Football allows you to meet a lot of people. A lot of people know who you are. And just getting a chance to meet those people, find out who they are, and find out stuff about them. I enjoy meeting new people, and I just feel like football has brought that around for me, allowed me to meet a lot of other people that I didn't know, like a lot of other guys that I didn't know from other schools, just meeting them, just learning that background of those guys. And they're really like a good group of guys that I was training with, a lot of guys that I met at the Combine. It's just meeting new people was the best part of the experience for me.
Yeah, man. Danny, man, that's amazing. Before we go, man, I wanna also ask you something, man. You mentioned playing with a chip on your shoulder. What is the driving force, you know, from you played in high school, you made it at the collegiate level, and now you're at your next step, your next chapter of your life, about to prepare for the NFL. What is the biggest motivation for you in your life, man? What continues to push you and just continue, you know, chase that dream?
Man, every day I see my son, I just look at him and just, you know, think I want the best for him. So if my talent, you know, allows me to continue to keep going, I just want to be able to take care of him, you know, where you don't have to worry about anything. You know, not that I want him to play football. He can do whatever he want to do, but I just want to make sure, you know, his life is as good as possible. You know, just help him understand, you know, the value of $1, you know, everything. Anything I can do to help my son's life be better, that's what I want to do.
Hey, man, Danny, one receiver, man, that you're ready to check, man, lock down when you get to the NFL, man, who would that be?
Man, I'm just ready to compete against everybody. I just want to show that me coming from a small school has nothing to do with it. I really just kind of want to show, like, a lot of the other guys that get offers from smaller schools and, you know, kind of turn them down because they feel like it's not good enough. I just want to show them that you can make it from anywhere regardless of where you come from. You know, your team is going to speak for itself.
Hey, man, got to do this interview today, man, with Danny Johnson, All-American, Southern University, Southern Jaguar, Louisiana Pimp Dog. Danny, man, good luck, man, and continue to, you know, grind it out throughout this process. I want to say, man, I appreciate you taking the time out and doing this interview with me today, man, and best of luck with you, man.
But I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, man, from HBCU Spotlight TV, Danny Johnson from Southern University, man, we're out.
All right, thank you, sir.
Good job, first.